Hey, and thanks for joining today. I'm James Burbank, and I'm excited to have you join Module 1, Pulling a Buyer Lead. And this is the journey from helping. It's really similar on the seller end as well. I'll have another training on that, but essentially, we're going to be laying out a guide map from getting a buyer to closing and post buyer support that you may be able to help. And sorry if you noticed this red mark on my face. My son just gave me a little smacking. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and jump right in. Again, I'll just we're going to go over a visual roadmap of how to work it. There's numerous different lead sources, so just a quick introduction other than the other introduction, over all the bases that we touch here, and then of course being proactive on our journey to helping assist other realtors because with real estate, laws and systems are always evolving and changing. So we just have to make sure we're staying proactive. Hopefully, after these trainings and you get placed, you'll get placed with a client who has a good system in place where everything is integrated and all these lead sources automatically go into your CRM. So a lot of this will actually be essentially not really relevant. So, nevertheless, if your client does not have everything integrated, what would happen is the starting point on the journey from the buyer lead journey is basically importing them into the CRM. So we'll go ahead and just read off the introduction. Hi, and welcome to your very first training module as a real estate virtual with divine growth. Let me turn this phone off, sorry. In this session, we'll cover the foundational task every VA must master, pulling and organizing buyer leads slash seller leads from different lead sources like Facebook ads, social media ads, IDX websites, Google Forms, Jot Forms, open house sign-ins, whatever the case need be. This task is absolutely crucial because every successful buyer transaction starts with a lead. We're working those leads. And it's your job to make sure those leads are captured, categorized, and ready to be followed up with. Ready and and ready to just work them and move them accordingly. So we're going steps. So even if you've never worked in real estate or Arizona before, you'll feel confident by the end of this video and training sessions. So context for Arizona real estate, let's start with a little bit more. As of now, the average home sell price in Arizona is about 450,000. So depending on the city, in metro areas like Phoenix, Goodyear, and Scottsdale, prices range anywhere from 300 to a million. Scottsdale being the most expensive area generally, Phoenix usually the most affordable on the lower end. Most Arizona buyers come from referrals, online searches, or social media ads. So as a VA, you'll be working behind the scenes to pull in those buyer contacts and help the realtor grow their pipeline. The tools and systems that you use to collect and manage those leads vary, and it can be the difference between an agent closing 1 to 5 deals a month. So again, we want to help get them everything integrated, help build their systems in place, and help document and work everything accordingly. So what we'll need in this session before we begin, make sure you have access to your client CRM if you're already in the after post training watching this again. Otherwise, this is the first thing you'll want to do. We'll pass along this information either day of trade off or before trade off so you can get prepped. Usually it's at the client's discretion. So you'll want the login for the CRM, Facebook Business Manager if leads are coming from that source. Google Sheet may be there. IDX access to a website if it's not integrated yet. Open house sign-in forms. Hopefully they do it all digitally. Otherwise, they can take pictures and send you pictures so you could import them into their CRM manually. And a headset and strong internet connection is obviously a vital instrument in your success. So step by step on how to pull a buyer lead. So number one is Facebook lead ads. That's a very popular place. And if it's from Facebook or Instagram, it's going to be access through Meta Business. So many Arizona realtors use Facebook or Instagram to run their targeting ads on buyers or sellers. And if the ad uses a Facebook lead form, here's how to access it. So log into the Facebook business page with their provided login info, go to the business meta suite, click on the lead center, choose the active campaign, You can download a CSV file or go manually, which a lot of realtors like. So that way, as you work it, you can get the tags in accordingly. But if it is via CSV, then a lot of CRMs will let you have different fields associated with where that lead came from, and basically will help you make tags. You can ask chat and prompt it if you would need it further assistance. Of course, we have chat GPT, and the internet is extra resources if this is a brief training because tons of different realtors use tons of different sources, so we don't want to get too in depth, but this is again a basic training. So again, check for each lead has the main things are name, email, phone, and ad source. Of course, address is huge as well for sellers, and save it under the shared folder in Google Drive, Leads, Facebook if your client permits. Otherwise, just straight into the CRM, so everything's centralized. So best practice, again, if you're trying to get really organized, then keep the leads in an extra sheet to be extra organized. So same steps follow for pretty much everything else. So IDX website forms. An IDX site is the realtor's property search website where, and they need the IDX to function on their website to find homes linked to the MLS. So these sites are often connected again to the MLS. Ask your agent which IDX site they use. They might use a different one. Ask for the login information. Go to Leads, CRM tab, export. You could export CSV file on most of them, or again manually. And again, if they want you to add them into a Google Drive or directly into your CRM. The main thing is you want to have all the leads in one spot, which is the CRM. That's the main overall objective. So number 3, random website or Google form. There's job forms. There's tons of different form websites, maybe even connected to like your MailChimp, Constant Contact, Flowdesk, email source. You can make forms there, go high level, so on and so forth. So realtors may use general contact forms on their websites to do different types of, again, lead generation. They might offer PDF guides. Any good marketing team will have numerous landing pages with forms that collects information. And from there, again, what a form basically is collecting someone's data. So it becomes a lead. Check the Gmail or Google Drive connected to the form or website. Click responses. Generally, even like Go High Level or other places, they will respond to your form. So then you open it in the sheets, and again, it'll have different information, especially if you do like giveaways, or maybe you're hosting a client appreciation event, or you're trying to collect past clients' information to do birthday gifts. So you want to know clients' birthdays. You could, with forms, there's custom forms, so you could add different stuff. And cleaning up, formatting if needed. Of course, you want to go through it, clean it up, and the main thing is add it into the CRM. That's the main objective. Again, open house sign-ins. At open houses, agent often collect physical sign-in sheets or use a tablet with a form. So again, it could be a Google form. You'd go in and add those into the CRM, unless the main thing is trying to get all of these integrated with the CRM. So as they fill out, if we're doing a ton of different forms, and it might be a little difficult unless you're using a source like Go High Level, where every form you could have connected automatically to a CRM, and then they automatically go into the CRM. Again, Go High Level is also a CRM, so that is a possibility. Unfortunately, every real estate agent operates their business differently and uses different CRMs and tools. So just make sure you're working with your agent to get a list of all the places that they capture leads, all the forms, all the landing pages, and the main goal is to get them into the CRM, so that way we can work them accordingly. So again, if it's paper, usually scan and upload it to a drive. If digital, ask for the form and sign-in sheet. Transfer all the names into the CRM. That's the main objective, CRM. Confirm that the property address and date are at the open house. It's a tag. Make sure we're tagging accordingly. We'll do that in another training. And double check phone numbers and every information that you input is correct. So side note, so organize and label your leads. After gathering all leads, make sure you create a buyer seller lead tracker sheet if not provided already. So you'll want to, again, if you're using a CRM, it's not 100% necessary. You can go ahead and just import them right into the CRM. Most of the time you export a sheet, you'll have a CSV file and you'll want to make one master log for all CSV files and just date them accordingly. What I like to do is something along the lines of Google form submissions and then just the date, or let's say it's like a Google leads. You can see here are examples. You would save it to your Google Drive as leads, and then maybe IDX leads. Again, leads, if it's a Google form, you do Google form submission leads, save the date of. Generally, it'll auto prompt to the date that you save it, but I do like to put a date for reference. Consult with your real estate, consult with your client if they don't have that, but it is always good to have a master file. And of course, as you download them, you'll acquire them because it's downloaded by CSV file. So again, recap, create a buyer lead tracker sheet if not already provided in a master file. Columns, name, email, source, area, interest, budget, notes. It could actually be extra information as well, just based on what type of form you pulled. So you might need additional sheets, sort by zip code and city if possible. Make sure to tag in CRM. That's what tags are huge for. And import or copy and paste to CRM with the correct tags as mentioned previously. So common mistakes to avoid: forgetting to check the add date or form version. So make sure to check everything is in the correct version. If you are manually or automatically rather, if you're not manually uploading, if you're using a CSV file, make sure it's all in the correct format. Make sure copying and pasting emails with extra spaces. A lot of times people will copy them and have like a space ahead of the email and it might cause an error. So make sure you're copying and pasting accordingly. If so, always confirm. Common mistake is not confirming which leads are new and old. So try to make as many notes in the note section as possible if you notice any, and adding the wrong tags in the CRM. So again, if you can add as many accurate notes as possible, that's huge. So quick wrap ups. Quick wrap ups. Once you've pulled the buyer leads from these sources, make sure they're fully cleaned, categorized, and ready for follow-up in the CRM. That's how you help Arizona realtors stay ahead of the game and close more buyers. Again, our goal is to help take as much off their plate as possible. In the next training video, we'll teach you how to initiate contact with these buyer leads using text, email, or a short call, and how to update the CRM directly based on the response. Thanks for watching, and remember, the more organized your lead work Thanks for watching, and remember, the more organized your lead work, the faster an agent can close more deals. So great job. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.